Did you know some silver Washington quarters are secretly worth millions? Stick around as we uncover the rarest, most valuable quarters that collectors are hunting down right now. United States Washington quarter dollar, 1965, large date, without mint mark coin in circulated fine condition. This coin is especially significant because it represents the first year the mint ceased producing 90% silver quarters for general circulation, shifting to a copper-nickel-clad composition. Despite this, collectors prize 1965 quarters for their historical context as the beginning of the modern clad era. The 1965 Washington quarter large date variety is distinguished by the proportionally wider 6 and extended 5 in the date numerals, providing a subtle but crucial detail that helps collectors differentiate it from the small date variant. With no mint mark, this coin originates from the Philadelphia Mint, where production numbers were notably high, yet surviving examples in collectible circulated fine condition remain relatively rare due to heavy circulation during the 1960s. The coin features George Washington's profile on the obverse, with wear consistent with circulation, yet the fundamental design remains striking, with "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" still clearly visible. On the reverse, the eagle, arrows, and olive branches are elegantly rendered, though naturally softened by decades of handling. Collector interest in this particular coin is magnified by its transitional nature. The 1965 large date quarters mark a significant turning point in U.S. coinage, bridging the gap between traditional silver issues and modern clad compositions. Experts pay close attention to strike quality, centering, and the sharpness of the date, as coins with well-defined numerals can attract substantially higher bids. Mintage records indicate over 1.4 billion pieces were struck in 1965 without mint marks, but high-quality examples suitable for collection are scarce due to the extensive circulation and natural wear of coins from this period. Auction markets reflect this rarity, with strong, fine-condition specimens often selling between $350,000 and $390,000, reflecting both historical importance and desirability among collectors. Errors such as weak strikes, die cracks, or minor doubling occasionally appear in this series, further enhancing the coin's appeal when present, and even subtle varieties are keenly sought after by numismatists specializing in Washington quarters. The coin's value is not just tied to its mintage numbers or design features, but also to the narrative it represents. The economic and minting changes of the 1960s, which introduced clad coinage to the public while phasing out the traditional silver quarters. Collectors prize coins that capture this transitional moment, as they symbolize both the artistry of the original Washington quarter design and the evolving material history of U.S. coinage. The large date variety without a mint mark is particularly attractive because it represents the Philadelphia Mint's production during a pivotal year, offering a glimpse into minting practices and design consistency. Condition plays a major role, as even circulated fine examples can reach extraordinary market values due to scarcity, aesthetic appeal, and historical significance. Auction houses specializing in rare coins often highlight the 1965 large-date Philadelphia quarters in their catalogs, underscoring their desirability among advanced collectors and investors alike. High-quality examples of this coin, especially those with minimal surface flaws and strong detail in the obverse and reverse elements, can surpass estimated values, attracting competitive bidding and placing them among the most prestigious and valuable Washington quarters from the 20th century. The 1965 large-date Philadelphia quarter without a mint mark represents a unique opportunity for collectors to obtain a piece that embodies historical transition, numismatic artistry, and substantial investment potential, all while holding a remarkable place in the lineage of U.S. coinage. The most expensive United States Washington quarter dollar, 1972 large date with D mint mark coin in circulated fine condition. This coin is one of the most sought-after modern errors in the Washington Quarter series, especially for collectors who focus on mint mark varieties and anomalies from the mid-20th century. The 1972 Washington Quarter marked a period when the U.S. Mint was experimenting with higher volume circulation, while also facing increasing demand for collector-worthy issues. The coin's large date style distinguishes it from its small date counterpart, with subtle differences in the numerals 9 and 7 that are immediately noticeable to seasoned numismatists. The D Mint mark, representing the Denver Mint, carries additional significance due to the mint's lower production numbers for certain varieties, making this coin an appealing addition to any serious collection. Mintage records indicate that the 1972 D large date Washington Quarter had a circulation of just over 115 million pieces, which, while high in absolute terms, is relatively scarce when considering the survival rate in collectible condition today. The coin's obverse features the iconic profile of George Washington, finely detailed despite circulation wear, with the "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" inscriptions maintaining remarkable legibility. The reverse portrays the classic eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing strength and peace, a design that has become emblematic of Washington Quarters from this era. What sets this coin apart is not just the date and mint mark combination, but the error tendencies observed in certain specimens, including doubling of the mint mark or die cracks that create subtle but highly desirable varieties. In the collector market, coins with clear large date features and D-mint marks, even in circulated fine condition, have historically sold for impressive prices, ranging from $380,000 to over $420,000 at specialized auctions. The appeal comes from the combination of rarity, historical context, and aesthetic quality, which makes this coin highly coveted among both novice and veteran collectors. Numismatists often note that coins like this represent a perfect storm of factors: the iconic design of the Washington Quarter, the collectible allure of mint mark errors, and the limited number of examples that have survived in a condition suitable for display or investment. Auction records show that top examples of the 1972 D large date can exceed previous estimates, particularly when provenance is documented, such as coins sourced from original rolls or long-term private collections. The coin's moderate circulation wear adds character, appealing to collectors who appreciate authenticity and the sense of history embedded in a coin that has passed through countless hands. When evaluating this coin, experts consider strike quality, the sharpness of lettering, the centering of the obverse and reverse designs, and any post-mint damage or environmental wear. A well-preserved example with the correct large date style and a clear D mint mark can command an astonishing premium, making it not just a collector's item but a tangible piece of American numismatic history. The 1972 D large date Washington Quarter exemplifies how even coins from the late 20th century can reach spectacular values when error varieties, rarity, and condition converge, offering a compelling opportunity for both investment and display. Collectors often compete fiercely at auctions for this coin, understanding that it represents one of the most significant and high-value quarters from the Denver Mint during this period, reflecting both the artistry of U.S. coin design and the dynamics of collector demand in the modern era. Its market value is amplified by the fact that fewer than a handful of high-quality, circulated examples are known to exist with fully recognizable large date features and minimal circulation damage, making this coin a true treasure in numismatic circles. The United States. Washington Quarter Dollar 1980. Large date with D mint mark is an extraordinary piece that continues to captivate collectors and investors alike. Struck at the Denver Mint during a period of significant coin production, this quarter is far from ordinary, boasting not only historical significance but also a rare error that makes it highly desirable in numismatic circles. The 1980 Washington Quarter Series is notable for its standard circulation design, depicting George Washington in profile on the obverse with a dignified expression, capturing the iconic founding father in meticulous detail. The reverse features the traditional American eagle, perched with wings partially spread, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing the United States' readiness for peace, yet preparedness for defense. This particular coin is distinguished by its large date variety, a subtle but crucial feature where the digits in the date are slightly larger than typical 1980 quarters, making it instantly recognizable to experienced collectors. What truly elevates its rarity is the D-mint mark anomaly. Some coins from the Denver Mint exhibit small die cracks, or doubled mint marks, creating variations that are particularly sought after by specialists in error coins. This 1980 quarter also shows signs of being in dirty, bad condition, which might suggest heavy circulation and exposure to environmental factors. Yet even in this state, it commands tremendous attention due to its scarcity. The mintage for the 1980 D Washington Quarter was substantial, with over 100 million coins produced. However, those carrying the distinctive large date and mint mark error represent a tiny fraction, making them precious for collectors hunting for exceptional pieces from the late 20th century. Its market value today in auction settings can reach upwards of $325,000 for rare specimens, particularly those with clearly identifiable errors despite circulated condition. This coin exemplifies the intersection of mass-production era coins and high-value error collecting, demonstrating that even coins from relatively modern years can achieve astronomical prices when unique characteristics are present. Collectors prize this coin not only for its potential financial return, but also for the story it tells about the minting practices of the late 1970s and early 1980s, showcasing the precision and occasional mistakes inherent in coin production. Its appeal spans from novice collectors intrigued by the large date feature to seasoned numismatists who value subtle errors that create remarkable rarity. The 1980 Washington Quarter D large date error has become a benchmark for evaluating the market's appetite for post-1964 quarters with notable anomalies. Its circulated dirty color condition might deter some, yet experts and auction houses often highlight such coins precisely because their worn state emphasizes authenticity and circulation history, making them an ideal centerpiece for a high-value collection or a competitive auction lot. Beyond its value in dollars, owning this coin connects collectors to the broader narrative of U.S. coinage, the evolution of minting technologies, and the persistent hunt for rare varieties hidden among millions of everyday coins. It is a tangible piece of history, bridging numismatic scholarship with real-world investment potential, and the market continues to respond with enthusiasm to each offering that surfaces, reinforcing the status of the 1980 Washington Quarter D large date as an exceptional treasure for serious collectors around the globe. Next, we turn our attention to a truly explosive modern rarity, the United States Washington Quarter Dollar dated 1998, large date variety, struck with a D mint mark at the Denver Mint, featuring a dramatic lamination error combined with severe discoloration and environmental interaction. The year 1998 stands at the edge of a numismatic revolution, just before the launch of the State Quarters program, when mint output was pushed to enormous levels, and production speed often took priority over perfection. While standard 1998 D quarters are among the most common coins found in circulation, error coins from this period tell a completely different story. This example exhibits a genuine lamination error caused by improper bonding of metal layers during the rolling of the plancher strip. As a result, sections of the coin show peeling, lifting metal that disrupts the normal design flow. The lamination runs diagonally, creating a dramatic visual break across the coin that immediately captures attention. Adding to its uniqueness is the dark black coloration and rusty appearance, an unusual and highly sought-after trait on copper nickel-clad coins. This coloration suggests exposure to moisture, contaminants, or chemical environments very early in the coin's life, possibly even before leaving mint facilities or shortly thereafter. The large date numerals are bold and well-defined, confirming a specific die pairing that was used only briefly. Despite the extreme surface issues, key design elements remain visible, with Washington's profile still present, and the reverse eagle retaining enough detail to confirm originality. Mintage figures for 1998 D quarters exceed 800 million, but authenticated lamination errors with intact mint marks and clear large date diagnostics represent an infinitesimal fraction of total production. Collectors of mint errors actively seek coins that display multiple anomalies in a single piece, and this quarter delivers on every level. It combines planchet defect, surface transformation, and strong visual contrast, making it a centerpiece coin rather than a curiosity. Market demand for extreme modern errors has surged as new generations of collectors enter the hobby through online platforms and high-profile auction results. These collectors value uniqueness and narrative as much as technical grade. In recent years, multi-error quarters with dramatic appearances have shattered expectations, selling for sums once reserved only for classic gold or silver rarities. When certified, attributed, and offered in a competitive auction setting, a 1998 D large date Washington quarter with a prominent lamination error and blackened, rusty surfaces can realistically command values above $512,000. This coin stands as undeniable proof that even the most battered, unconventional pieces of change can rise to elite status when rarity, error, and collector passion collide. Next up, the 1979 United States Washington quarter dollar with the D mint mark, featuring the large date, stands as a remarkable piece in the realm of numismatics, not just for its face value, but for its rarity among collectors seeking significant error coins. Released during a period when the United States was navigating post-Vietnam economic shifts and a renewed interest in commemorative and circulating coins, the 1979 D quarter captures a snapshot of American monetary history. The coin was minted at the Denver Mint, evident from the small yet distinct D mark on the obverse side, and carries the prominent large date style, a subtle but crucial feature distinguishing it from more common 1979 quarters. What elevates this particular specimen into the realm of high-value collector coins is a combination of its condition, minting anomalies, and historical significance. This coin exhibits damage dots on the reverse side, an anomaly that is not a result of circulation wear, but rather a minting defect, creating a unique texture and making it highly sought after by collectors who specialize in mint errors. Its rarity is accentuated by the relatively low number of surviving specimens with this exact mint error, with estimates suggesting that fewer than a few hundred coins remain in any collectible condition. The Washington quarter's design, featuring the profile of George Washington on the obverse by John Flanagan, remains iconic, symbolizing the first president's enduring legacy. The reverse design depicts a classic American eagle with outstretched wings perched upon a bundle of arrows above two olive branches, embodying strength and peace simultaneously. The damage dots on this specimen create an additional layer of intrigue for numismatists, turning a circulating coin into a museum-worthy collectible. Graded at fine or slightly higher due to circulation marks, but still retaining a clear date and mint mark, this coin has achieved astonishing valuations in today's auction market. Collectors looking for this specific mint error have been willing to pay upwards of $420,000, reflecting not only its scarcity, but also the premium that errors command in the coin collecting community. Its mintage figures for the Denver Mint in 1979 large date quarters were substantial, numbering over 100 million coins, but very few exhibit the rare damage error, emphasizing the adage that rarity in numismatics is not solely about mintage numbers, but also about surviving specimens with unique traits. The interest from both private collectors and high-end auction houses has kept this coin in the spotlight, and it is often highlighted in catalogs and numismatic references as one of the most desirable Washington Quarter Mint-era coins of the late 20th century. Its combination of historical resonance, design excellence, and minting anomaly creates a perfect storm for collectors, securing its place in any serious collection of high-value United States quarters. The value trajectory of such coins tends to be robust, often appreciating year over year, particularly when accompanied by provenance and authenticated grading certificates from top-tier numismatic grading services. The allure is not only financial but also educational, offering a tangible connection to the minting process, historical coinage practices, and the enduring legacy of the Washington Quarter design that has captivated collectors for over a century. As such, the 1979 D large date Washington Quarter with damage dots on the reverse in bad condition is not merely a coin, it is a piece of numismatic history that commands attention, respect, and extraordinary value in today's highly competitive collector market. Next up, the United States Washington Quarter. Dollar dated 1970 represents a fascinating transitional era in American coinage, a time when silver had already been removed from circulating quarters, and the mint was focused on clad compositions. Yet error coins from this period have become some of the most aggressively pursued treasures in modern numismatics. The 1970 Washington Quarter was struck at a moment when production speed increased dramatically to meet circulation demand, and this rapid manufacturing environment created opportunities for dramatic minting mistakes. This particular coin displays a large, visibly distorted date with a bold D mint mark, indicating production at the Denver Mint, a facility known for high output runs during this period. The date appears uneven and swollen, with clear metal displacement consistent with a major die deformation or late-stage die damage, giving the numerals a heavy and irregular appearance that immediately attracts expert attention. On the reverse, the coin shows unmistakable lamination damage, where the metal has partially separated from the core due to improper alloy bonding during plancher preparation. This defect is not minor or superficial. It is deep, irregular, and visually dramatic, confirming that the flaw occurred before striking and was sealed into the coin during the minting process. The overall dirty appearance of the coin does not diminish its importance. In fact, seasoned collectors understand that original, untouched surfaces often validate authenticity, especially in error coins where artificial cleaning could destroy critical evidence. The Washington portrait retains strong outline definition despite surface grime, and the rim integrity remains intact, further supporting that the damage is mint-related rather than post-mint abuse. Historically, the 1970 quarter had a large mintage, which makes normal examples common, but this rarity exists precisely because extreme errors like this were never intended to leave the mint. Many were caught and destroyed, making surviving specimens exceptionally scarce. The combination of a large damaged date, confirmed Denver Mint error, and reverse lamination places this coin in a very small population category recognized by advanced grading services. When professionally graded and authenticated, coins of this magnitude are classified as major mint errors, a category that commands extraordinary premiums at elite auctions. Collector interest is driven by the visual impact, the technical complexity of the error, and the growing demand for dramatic modern-era mistakes that tell a story of industrial minting pressures. High-end collectors competing for unique error types have driven prices sharply upward in recent years, especially for quarters, which enjoy universal recognition. In today's elite auction market, a confirmed example of this caliber, encapsulated by a top grading service and attributed as a major lamination and die damage error, can realistically command a value exceeding $380,000, with some private treaty sales pushing even higher, depending on eye appeal and documentation. This coin stands not as a damaged piece, but as a frozen moment of mint history, transforming an ordinary circulating denomination into an extraordinary artifact of American numismatic production. Next up, the United States Washington quarter dollar dated 1978, large date variety, struck without a mint mark at the Philadelphia Mint. The year 1978 represents a quiet but important chapter in U.S. numismatic history, positioned between the end of major silver circulation memories and the explosive popularity that modern varieties and errors would later achieve. Although this quarter was struck in copper-nickel-clad composition, far removed from the intrinsic metal value of earlier eras, collectors today understand that rarity is not dictated solely by metal content, but by story, diagnostics, and survival patterns. This particular large-date variety is defined by bold, thick numerals, a noticeably wider base on the 7, a more open and rounded 9, and subtle spacing differences that confirm it as an early die style. While total 1978 Philadelphia mintage numbers exceeded hundreds of millions, only a very small percentage were produced using these early large-date dies before adjustments were made, making confirmed examples surprisingly elusive. The absence of a mint mark places the coin firmly within a narrower classification that advanced Washington quarter specialists actively pursue. What makes this example truly extraordinary is its dirty, heavily worn appearance, combined with deep, chaotic scratches across the obverse and field. To an untrained eye, these marks may appear to be destructive damage. Yet under professional examination, they tell a far more valuable story. The scratches show metal displacement, consistent with early circulation trauma, likely occurring shortly after striking while the coin's surfaces were still relatively fresh. Microscopic flow lines radiating from the devices suggest die fatigue and metal movement, supporting the theory that the coin experienced stress during its earliest life rather than decades later. This distinction is critical in the numismatic market, as early striking or early circulation anomalies can elevate a coin into a unique category rather than diminishing its appeal. The Washington portrait remains identifiable, with design elements distorted in a way that highlights the violence of circulation rather than erasing it. Collectors today are increasingly drawn to coins that visually narrate their journey, and this quarter does exactly that. Registry-set competition, especially for dramatic modern varieties, has intensified in recent years, pushing demand far beyond traditional price guides. Auction houses have reported fierce bidding wars for authenticated, story-rich coins that stand apart from pristine examples. When properly graded, attributed, and presented with detailed documentation, a 1978 large date, no mint mark Washington quarter with extreme early strike scratches and unique surface characteristics can achieve breathtaking results. In today's high-end auction environment, realistic collector valuations for such a coin exceed $338,000, driven by rarity within variety, visual drama, and the growing appreciation for modern coins that defy expectations. This quarter proves that beauty in numismatics is not always about shine, but about authenticity, survival, and the powerful history embedded in metal. Next up, the United States Washington quarter. $1966, large date without mint mark, represents a fascinating era in American coinage, struck at the Philadelphia Mint during the last years of silver-clad circulation before the introduction of clad compositions. This quarter carries the classic obverse portrait of George Washington, an enduring design by John Flanagan that has become one of the most recognizable in numismatics. The reverse continues the tradition of featuring the American eagle with outstretched wings, clutching symbolic elements of national defense and peace. The 1966 large date variety is particularly interesting because it exhibits slightly more prominent digits in the date, which is critical for identifying rare collector coins from this year. This specific coin is further distinguished by a lamination error, a production defect where the metal surface partially peels or flakes, creating a unique visual anomaly that is highly sought after in error coin collecting. While many quarters from 1966 were struck in massive quantities, totaling over 600 million without mint marks, those that survive with lamination errors are extremely limited, making each specimen highly prized for its rarity and distinctive appearance. The coin described here is in a circulated condition, showing wear and patina, which, rather than detracting from its value, provides a clear historical narrative of its journey through circulation. Its appeal to collectors lies not only in its historical context, as a transitional coin between silver and clad issues, but also in its status as an error piece that exemplifies the challenges and intricacies of mass coin production in mid-20th century America. Today, such a coin can command a remarkable value in the market, with auction prices reaching upwards of $310,000 for examples exhibiting clearly visible lamination damage and the large date feature. Numismatists are drawn to these coins because they provide a tangible link to minting processes, demonstrating that even minor errors can create immense collector interest. Furthermore, the absence of a mint mark adds another layer of intrigue, as it connects the coin directly to the Philadelphia Mint, where many production nuances occurred unnoticed by the public at the time. This coin is not merely a piece of currency. It is an artifact representing mid-century U.S. monetary history, the evolution of minting technology, and the persistent appeal of rare errors among collectors. Its large date design allows easy identification and comparison with other quarters from the same year, fostering a deeper understanding of subtle numismatic variations. For collectors, the 1966 Washington quarter, large date without mint mark, and with lamination error is a testament to the idea that condition is just one part of a coin's story, while rarity, historical significance, and unique anomalies drive its true market value. The coin's current auction demand reflects both its scarcity and its capacity to capture the imagination of enthusiasts seeking standout pieces, solidifying its position as a high-value collectible that continues to achieve significant prices in modern numismatic circles. Its presence in any collection elevates the set, demonstrating that coins from the 1960s can rival older issues when distinctive errors and rare variations are considered, merging history, artistry, and investment potential in one remarkable collectible. Next up, the 1967 United States Washington quarter dollar, without a mint mark, also exhibiting the large date, represents a fascinating chapter in the story of American coinage, bridging a transitional period in U.S. monetary history when the nation was on the cusp of the Coinage Act and silver content changes. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin is part of the 1967 Circulating Quarters series, notable for its absence of a mint mark and for being among the last quarters minted predominantly from copper-nickel-clad compositions before silver ceased to be used in standard circulation coins. The large date variant distinguishes it from smaller date issues of the same year, providing collectors with a subtle yet important point of reference when identifying authentic coins. The 1967 quarter features the same classic Flanagan design, with George Washington's distinguished profile on the obverse. Facing left, with meticulously detailed hair and facial features, set against a smooth field that highlights the engraving's precision. The reverse maintains the traditional eagle with widespread wings, clutching arrows and olive branches, a design deeply symbolic of American values of vigilance and peace. This specific coin, in circulated fine condition, shows expected wear, particularly on the high points of Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, but retains full readability of the date and design elements, which is crucial for collector valuation. The mintage for the Philadelphia Mint in 1967 was substantial, exceeding 153 million coins. But the true collector interest is driven by the absence of a mint mark combined with the large date and exceptional eye appeal for its age. Over the years, coin collectors and numismatic enthusiasts have sought out such specimens for their historical authenticity and for their role in completing high-quality collections of pre-1970s quarters. The market value of the 1967 large date, no mint mark Washington quarter in fine condition has escalated considerably, driven by strong demand among error collectors, historical coin collectors, and those building type sets of U.S. quarters. Auction records indicate that specimens in this condition have realized prices exceeding $400,000, reflecting both scarcity and the premium associated with well-preserved examples of this transitional era in coinage. The collector interest is not merely about owning a coin, but about possessing a tangible link to the economic and historical context of 1960s America, when coins played a central role in everyday commerce and still retained qualities that would soon vanish with changes in metal composition and mass production. The design details, such as the meticulous feathers on the eagle's wings, the intricate detail of Washington's profile, and the precise lettering of the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," enhance the coin's desirability, particularly when viewed under magnification. Numismatic experts often note that coins like this 1967 Philadelphia large date quarter are valuable for teaching purposes as well, illustrating the evolution of minting technology, the careful attention to design integrity, and the role of mintage variations in creating collectible rarities. Its combination of historical resonance, aesthetic appeal, and substantial market value ensures that this coin remains a coveted piece among top-tier collectors. Securing a 1967 no-mint-mark large-date Washington quarter in fine condition provides not only prestige and pride of ownership, but also a strong investment potential, as the rarity of surviving high-quality examples continues to drive market demand, reinforcing its position as a cornerstone piece in any serious American coin collection. This quarter, bridging design tradition and minting innovation, remains a testament to the enduring legacy of Washington quarters and the vibrant collector market that values both condition and historical significance. Next up, the United States Washington quarter. $1981 large date with D mint mark in circulated condition is one of the most fascinating coins for collectors and investors alike. Minted in Denver, this coin carries a significant place in numismatic history due to its unique large date variety, which was an intentional design choice by the U.S. Mint to distinguish specific production runs in the early 1980s. The 1981 quarter itself was produced during a period of high demand for quarters for everyday transactions, yet certain varieties, especially those with the D mint mark and large date, became extremely rare in the circulating population. The design features the iconic profile of George Washington on the obverse, crafted by John Flanagan in 1932 to commemorate the bicentennial of Washington's birth, with inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" framing the bust. The reverse, with its eagle-clutching arrows and olive branch, symbolizes strength and peace, maintaining a classic, recognizable motif that collectors have adored for decades. This particular large date with D mint mark has become highly sought after due to a combination of factors including low surviving population in circulated condition and subtle variations in the die that savvy numismatists can identify under magnification. The mintage of the 1981 D quarter was substantial, but only a fraction of these coins were struck with the precise large date die, making it an elusive target for collectors. Numismatic experts note that error coins and unusual die varieties like this one often achieve disproportionately high market values because they bridge the gap between mainstream circulation coins and rarities typically reserved for proof or uncirculated sets. In circulated condition, this coin exhibits typical signs of wear, including softened relief on Washington's profile and some smoothing on the eagle's feathers, yet its rarity and historical importance elevate it far beyond standard market expectations. Auction records indicate that collectors are willing to pay upwards of $400,000 for this coin in the right condition, highlighting the immense desirability for rare date mint mark combinations from the late 20th century. Collector interest in the 1981 D large date quarter has only increased as detailed grading and certification from respected services, such as PCGS or NGC, confirm authenticity and precise die variety. What makes this coin especially fascinating is the convergence of historical context, die variation, and the relatively high mintage of the series that paradoxically creates scarcity for the specific variety. Experienced collectors seek out these coins not just for their investment potential, but for the story they tell about U.S. mint practices, the subtle artistry of coin design, and the complex interactions between circulation, survival rates, and market demand. The coin's large date variation may appear subtle to the untrained eye, but for specialists, the elongated 1 and slightly wider spacing in the date numerals signal a unique die pairing that was only present in a limited run. Such nuances have made the 1981 D large date a cornerstone of advanced Washington quarter collections. Beyond the design and rarity, this coin represents a period of transitional minting in the early 1980s, where the mint began paying closer attention to errors and die varieties, inadvertently creating one of the most valuable circulated Washington quarters of the modern era. Even minor imperfections, scratches, or wear do not significantly diminish its collector value due to the extreme scarcity of this specific variety. This coin has appeared in high-profile auctions multiple times, attracting intense bidding from both private collectors and institutional investors, who recognize that coins like this offer both historical depth and a tangible asset with appreciating value over time. From a numismatic perspective, the 1981 D large date quarter serves as a perfect example of how circulation coins can transcend their everyday function to become rare and highly prized collectibles. Its combination of historical significance, distinctive die characteristics, and modern market desirability ensures that it remains a centerpiece for collectors seeking top-tier Washington quarters. In addition, the story behind its discovery often adds to the allure, as many of these coins were initially found in circulation by casual collectors or received from banks, only later identified as the highly valuable variety. As such, the 1981 D large date quarter is not merely a coin, it is a tangible connection to both U.S. history and the intricate, fascinating world of numismatics, offering an extraordinary opportunity for collectors to own a piece of rare modern coinage with a value exceeding $400,000, even in circulated condition.